and welcome to the Global Business Group, where we aim to unlock the potential of international business, providing unique local business solutions internationally. We specialize in business advisory, import and export opportunities, market entry, investments and funding to help you achieve your business goals. Now, let's get into today's business day.
All right, great. Good to see you for Business Day. Today, it's our 32nd meeting, and very happy to introduce to you our guest, Henk Bill. He'll speak to you about movement joints, but first, let me just tell you about the Global Business Group, which is a group of business consultants, importers, exporters, business people with a goal to improve the business of our associates and partners from around the world and to make international business as local, as transparent, and as human as local business. And our focus is fourfold. We focus on business advisory, import-export opportunities, market entry services, as well as investment and funding opportunities. And with that, you can have more information at globalbusiness.group on the group, or just simply quick.ac/GBG. And now it's a great pleasure to hand over to Henk for his presentation, followed by question and answers about his business and products and opportunity. Henk,
okay.
Over to you.
Thank you. Well, I hope that it works this way. Welcome.
We see your welcome screen of the presentation.
Yeah, great. Well, now it's going. So I'm telling you all about what we do, and it's not working well how I hoped it would be. Well, this is a movement joint. I wanted to start with who is Vexcol, what do we do, etc. Well, this is a movement joint, and this is what it does. And we are based in Holland, and for anyone who did not know what a movement joint is and what a movement joint is doing, well, this is the film where you see what it is doing. And this is what we design. We design sustainable movement joints who can avoid, well, actually what we do is a building can move, and we allow them to move, and you can walk over it and you'll be safe. Our aim is to provide the best technical solutions for buildings, and we focus in most of the time on architects and engineers to give them the best advice to have a good working, solid and safe building. That's what we do. But if you don't know what you're talking about, then you get some wrong ideas perhaps. So I thought I'd give a quick view over about the buildings where you can find us in. You find us a lot in airports or car parks, or factories, or hospitals, or offices and hotels, railway stations, shopping centers, and stadiums. There you find these big gaps who have to be filled to provide a safe movement or going over it, if you like. Yeah, if you don't know what you're talking about, this is what happened. So this is a bridge, and you see that the horse is sitting with her shoes in the gap. That is what you don't want. So what we do, we advise the architect how you can avoid those problems and to get in the right solution. I can also show you something else. So if you don't have a tiled floor, if you like, and you don't use movement joints, this is what could happen. And I'm glad we are all above 18 years old, so I don't think that anybody is scared what they're going to see now. This is a tiled floor, and if you don't use movement joints, this will happen. So we went there for a few hours, and all the tiles were gone. And luckily, for the first time in years, we were at that moment so live. So that is why we could film it. We never saw it. We came always afterwards. And the typical joint, what could use what there is this little thing, just as big as the grouting is between the tiles. And you don't see it, but it allows movement. So we do it from very small to very big movement, from plus or minus more than a meter. So you have to think about seismic joints. You see it there. Yeah, it's an example. Yeah, and we do also the fire rating and special sections, if you like, so we can make everything what you want. And what we also do is have an insulation, and an insulation beneath the tiling. You don't see it, but this is very important for dispatching or the conduction static electricity. For example, in sliding doors, you see there are sliding doors. You see it in metro sections, or you also see it in airports and shopping centers. We call it an isolatech, and it's a perfect solution between the beneath the tiles. Yeah? So you don't get an electric wiring, or what, I don't know how you call it exactly, but anyhow, you're safe to walk through and nothing will happen. What did we do? We did the jewel. I just show you because you understand in what type of building we are sitting, and perhaps you were there once and you saw it. Well, there you find us. This is a very nice airport to walk through. That is also what we did. We did a lot of jobs international. And for in Holland, we did a railway station. Utrecht is in the center of Holland. It's a very big railway station for Holland. It means that they're walking through every day 400,000 people. So it's very big. And you see here all the different types of joint that we made there. This is Amsterdam, just to show you the picture, because I think this is a nice one. You don't see the movement joint actually here, but what I like here, you see all these styling that they made. It's typical Holland. It says for who we stand for, what we did in the early days. And well, if you want to find more information or you have questions, this is where you can find us, info.vexworldeurope.nl. So if you have any questions, I'd like to hear.
Henk, Jacek from Poland.
Thank you.
I see you utilize mostly those joints for surfaces like floors, like parking places, like landing lanes at airports. Am I right? Or you use this also for walls, for ceilings, for roofs? Tell us.
Well, it starts at the floor, but you do. I also use it for walls and for flooring and for roofs, etc. But you start always at floor, because that is where what is first is laid down, if I may say so.
Hello, Manuela from Italy. I just wanted to know, do you already have projects in Italy? We could propose or present this kind of solutions to a meeting we have next week with a logistic area creator, but I don't know, maybe you are already in.
Well, we were not in Italy. We did several jobs in several countries, most of all the big airports in other countries and other areas, in India and China, in Dubai, etc. But for us, it's very important to talk to traders or concrete companies or But that is actually the later thing. First of all, you have to talk with an investor or an architect or an engineer, because they need to know what is the best solution, and they put it in the drawings, in the writing note where it says which product you need to use, etc. So those people are very important for us, but also you don't want a problem afterwards. So that's why it's very important to talk also to trade companies, if you like, or people who are in the business of making concrete, who making the flooring, etc. And they can also install these products. So that therefore it's very wise to also have a contact with those people. So for us, it would be very helpful if someone knows products who is coming ahead. I know, for example, Airport Mexico has to be installed, which means this is in the wrong area. They want to put it on the other side of the city. So I know architects are busy with that and engineers, but I don't know who. Yeah, and so that is very important for us to be at the first, so at the start of the drawings, at the designing that we are in.
Mm-hmm. So this is probably what, sorry, I interrupt someone. This is probably what I was saying, because the meeting will be with the creators of the areas. So they study the land and they create the logistic areas. So I think it's exactly what I wanted to know. So
yes,
thank you.
They are also very important, Manuela. Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
When we prepared the call, Henk, you were also saying that you'd be potentially interested in GBG Associates to be your agent in for different regions, for different countries. Maybe you could elaborate a little bit on that.
Yeah, well, you know, as an example, I was in Geneva, and we get in a very big order, and but that was a guy who talked French. Well, perhaps you know, a lot of people in Holland can easily talk French, German, English, etc. But anyhow, at the end, we had this job, and he said, well, I sleep over it. Well, in Holland, it means that you don't have the job. But it was typical of French saying, and what he meant was actually he can sleep very well now. So that lesson learned means that I like to have agents, like people from this group, who are in their country. They know the little things that I don't know, but they know, and so we can do much more better business with each other. So that is the easiest way for us, but also the benefit for you guys.
Henk, I wanted to have placed a message. I'd like to have a one-on-one with you so that I can introduce you to someone who is into construction and an architect, but I've already started engaging them. But I want to find out if you've done any business in Ghana yet.
I would like to do that and help you and thank you for doing this effort for me.
Have you done any business in Ghana yet before?
No, okay. I did not. No.
All right, thank you.
Henk, let me know how is going on with Kunsanan. If not, I still have another one to recommend to you.
Sorry, Marini.
If it doesn't go further with Kunsanan that I connected you to, you can let me know, then I can find another one for you.
Thank you. Great. Jacek, what you were saying?
Henk, we had one-to-one conversation, and my reminder is tell us a few words about the pricing. For example, if we have an investment of shopping mall, 10,000 square meters, what could be the budget for the joints for such an investment?
Well,
roughly the level,
Yeah, well, when you're looking at the railway station in Utrecht, the floor was there about 30,000 square meters tiling.
Right.
And it's a job that took 5 years to build. And we did only 1.5 per mile from the building budget. well, talking about figures, we're talking about
Okay.
1.4 million euro selling with a good
And
profit.
you have wide choice, probably comparing to competition. Your choice is higher, so you can cover more areas of joint utilization.
Well, actually, sorry, we talked with each other. So
what is your pricing? What is your pricing policy? Can you be competitive in pricing, or it's not really your target?
The target is not in pricing, because you can only do it once, and you have to do it right. Our competitors, we have 10 international competitors in the world, and they're doing all a small piece of the solutions that you can have. And we do the whole bunch of it. Yeah. All the solutions that we have, they are, how do you call it? Protected. We have an international protection of that, because it's all unique. And what we do is give the architect and the engineer the reason why they have to choose this. And we can also explain what the competitor is doing, not in a negative way, but how it works and why they have to choose for this solution. We do it always property-wise, so specific, because we have this 10 amendment of questions that we ask. And by that, we know at the end exactly what the building is doing. We can also calculate the movement, but also knowing by those questions what the static will be, how many people are going over it, or machines are going over it, or whatever, etc. So they are fully helped in every way you want. And that is what our competitors not do. Which means everyone who is an agent or helping us, they presenting themselves not here, but there. They know exactly what they're talking about, but we are the ones who are helping them. Yeah, so you have a success, it's much more bigger. The payoff is much more bigger, because the customer is always coming back. You were the one who gave us this advice that was so good. Yeah, and it's not for a year, it's for 10 years, for 20 years, that people remember it always, because the quality is very high. So the quality you have to pay for, but it's not, I never ever heard a customer said you are too expensive. I always heard, or my colleagues, the help was perfect. Well, you know, we just think very simple. You have to go along with people how you hope people will go along with you. And that is our base, where everything is based on. And that is the reason why we don't have this discussion.
So it's a good news. So it's a lot of space for provision for your partners.
Absolutely, because you have to live both, you know.
Thank you.
Right, that's great to have a consultative sales approach, because you go away from just the pricing, and obviously it's a one shot that you provide, and so that makes sense. Are there any other questions? Let me just plug in here. If you're interested in when you're hearing this and you're interested,
let me just ask him a quick question.
Getting more information from Henk, then don't hesitate to send a message to myself, Switzerland at globalbusiness.group, and I'll put you in touch with Henk, and the doors are open. So, Rich.
Yeah. Yes, I just want to ask him a quick question. Henk, you said you have globally about 10 competitors.
Yes.
I would like you to tell us what makes you different from them.
Well, suppose you have a chance in Ghana. Yeah. You also have in Ghana factories who can make aluminium. So what we do is go with your client or yourself or whatever. When we have the job, we go into the factory in Ghana, and they can produce it under NDA circumstances, which means they are protected, but we are also protected because it's our invention, it's our design, you know. And It gives the benefit for people working in Ghana and also for all people there because it's made there. And it's good for the total global environment to produce it there where you use it, instead of making it here in Holland and make all those efforts to bring all those materials to Ghana. It's not logical. You have to do it there.
Okay. So the fabrication can be done on site, like in the contract country. Oh, okay, that's very unique. All right.
Yes.
Thank you very much for the clarification. We'll talk more.
Yeah, well, I can tell you guys a lot what we do, but then after a week, I'm still enthusiastic, and I don't know if you are.
Well, that was very interesting to have this competitive advantage of yours, of your products. Great. We still have time for one last question, if there is any. Well, if not, Lulenka, go ahead.
Henk, I just wanted to ask you, is it mainly on the aluminium side, or is there other manufacturing that you would work with the joint as well?
Well, we use a lot of aluminium because that is actually anywhere in the world easily to do. Beneath that, we also make rubber, but rubber is actually a substance of many different materials, and you have to look into every specific job. For an example, I had a phone call from a metro. There was a fire, and they asked what kind of rubber they used. And after questioning, we find out that a lot of competitors were also in there. But there was a problem. People could not run because that rubber had a lot of stuff that you could not find the entrance, if you like. And
thanks for joining
with a specification that people when there is fire can run. They know where to run to. So it's very difficult because we always do it, make a solution for the specific building. And that is those 10 questions very wise for. So I cannot say we only use aluminium. No, we use different kind of material, but it's building specific.
Thanks for joining in. We'll see you at the same time next week. In the meantime, be sure to check out our website, www.globalbusiness.group. The Global Business Group, making international business easy.